Yo, what's poppin'? So here again with the final round one Western region preview with the number 2 seed Dallas Fuel against the number 6 seed Toronto Defiant. They picked Toronto out of Houston and Atlanta. Makes sense uh, because they did 3-0 them pretty decisively, but uh, nonetheless, maybe winnable, maybe not. Who knows? But uh, getting started, Dallas Fuel 5-1 with a +10 map differential, only losing to Houston 3-0 on stage in week one. Since then, they've looked spotless pretty much, 3-0ing every team except for the LA Gladiators, who they did pull off a reverse sweep against. So there's that. But they beat Houston 3-0, they beat Washington 3-0, they do the reverse sweep against Glads 3-2, they beat Toronto, who they're about to play 3-0 2 weeks ago. They beat Paris 3-0 and they beat Boston 3-0. So just very, very consistent. Like, it's hard to have a much better stage except for that one blemish uh, against the Houston Outlaws in week one. But moving over to Toronto, not as clean. Yes, 4-2 and +3, but things are not looking so great of late. So Toronto starting off losing 3-1 to the Washington Justice, then beating Houston Outlaws 3-2, beating Paris 3-0, losing to Dallas Field 3-0, beating Boston 3-1, and beating New York 3-1. The problem with Toronto is at the start of the season, the start of the stage, they were playing the Monkey, now moving over more towards the hot Zarya, which has not looked phenomenal. Against Dallas, of course, Dallas being the best Zarya composition player. So if you're going to play the Zarya comp into Dallas, you're probably going to lose it. To be honest, I don't see any team beating Dallas in the mirror in Zarya in NA at least. Maybe like the Spark could do it or something like that. But in NA, they're pretty much uncontested as the best Zarya comp team, as shown by Toronto. I rate Toronto. I have them fourth in my power rankings, but the distance between fourth and third is very, very high. There's a lot of parity uh, so far. Anyway, I'll go back over to Dallas first. They have Sparkle, Doha, Hanbin, Fielder, Edison, Chio, Fearless, and Guerrillo. Primarily, their main roster consists of Hanbin on the Zarya, with Edison and Doha mostly. With Guerrillo coming in on like Circuit Royale and stuff like that. Sparkle comes in every now and then to show off the Genji, but usually that. And then you have Chio Fielder, who have no replacements, and they're both looking very strong. So yeah, Dallas comp, uh, basically pioneering Zarya, and they can play the monkey. They have Fearless. They've played the monkey. They do it on like Watch Puncher Brawlter and stuff like that, and they look very strong on it. But their bread and butter is the Zarya composition. Moving over to Toronto, they have Hisu, Hoppa, Twilight, Muse, Chorong, Aldo, and Finale. At the start of the season, their main roster was the Muse, Finale, Hisu, Twilight, Chorong. But since then, Hoppa and Aldo has come in leave of Muse and Finale to play the Zarya more. So they have looked stronger on the monkey, but they believe in the Zarya comp, it seems. And there's this whole the inner turmoil thing about how allegedly Muse might have requested a trade, or Muse and Finale or something. But there's definitely some arguments going on, because Muse even said he gets emotional, he gets hot-headed and stuff like that. But I don't think that's the reason they're playing the Zarya. They're still bringing them in when they need to. But I don't know. I kind of wish they would commit maybe more towards the monkey, but they have a team that can play the Zarya with Hoppa, a very experienced player, and it's not an awful look, but compared to Dallas, it is. Moving on to their results from last season. So Dallas, very strong all of last season. They win the May Melee. They come second in the June Joust, third in the Summer Showdown, and they don't make into the Countdown Cup, losing to Shock. Isn't a big deal. They were kind of resting, really. They weren't maybe trying super hard. They were preparing for the playoffs, which they end up finishing third, losing to Atlanta in an upset, really. And they do come second in the regular season overall. But so last season for Dallas, they win the May Melee before. Look to do it again. Maybe they came out right off the gate looking strong. They're doing it again. And no, there shouldn't be a surprise if they win this tournament completely, right? We've seen it before. They've solidified themselves as a good team. It was a pretty good season, all things considered, for how Dallas has played in the past. And they're looking to repeat it with mostly the same players. Meanwhile, Toronto, maybe not a great season. So they don't get to Hawaii at all. They only make it into the qualifier tournament to get into the May Melee Countdown Cup twice, and just not a great showing. 11th in this regular season, so being pretty much mid, and they don't make it to the playoffs at all. Right? They get stuck in the play-ins. So pretty bad season for Toronto. Very mid. You can of course do worse, but I don't know. They're gonna look to maybe not be mid, but right now they are struggling to beat the mid allegations, and that will forever be Toronto's goal, it seems. Anyway, my thoughts on this matchup: if Toronto try to play this Zarya comp into Dallas, they'll just get 3-0 like we saw 2 weeks ago. It wasn't close. They just got rolled the whole time. It was very, very sad to watch. Dallas was just a much better team. And that's probably the main reason they picked them again. Now, if they decide, you know what, I like our odds of playing the Winston more, even if we think the Zarya comp is better. I like the odds of playing Muse on Winston. Finale comes in. They looked very good. They actually looked like a solid top team, like a top 4 team for sure. Now they're like a top 4 team, maybe. Maybe they're the top of mid. Maybe not. But we'll see what their coaching staff has decided with KDG has cooking, and we'll see if Dallas continues to show and be the best of the Zarya comps, which I fully expect them to be. I'm gonna write this series off as a 3-0. To be honest, I kind of think that Toronto will play the Zarya, and yeah, I don't know. Not great stuff. Not too exciting of a series, I think, but I'll still be watching it. Still try to see what's going on. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the NA previews. I'll do APAC today, and yeah, this video coming a little later because I want to work on an assignment. But that is, I'm losing to the assignment allegations, so I had to make this video before I lost my mind. Another thing coming up will be I'm going to do how these teams missed the May Melee, how they missed the tournament, like how did London miss the tournament, how did Boston miss the tournament, and stuff like that. And I think that'll be interesting. So watch it for those videos coming tomorrow, maybe. And yeah, that's going to be it for me. Give it a like, give it a subscribe. Oh, I have an old Twitter account from whenever I got banned for threatening a AI that wanted me to do homework or something, right? I'm using that one now as like my like post about these videos. I'm gonna post about Owl there probably, so don't spam my other one. So go look at that in the description below. And yeah, have a good one.